Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Josh Zaharia about The Boys on Prime Video. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Really happy to be here.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, the latest season of The Boys dropped. The world went crazy as we expected. Pretty cool to be able to play, a younger version of a character that we all love and everything. What was the audition process like? How did you get involved with The Boys for this season?
Yeah, so I was out in Toronto filming for another project, and then my agent sends me this email with this new audition that I have, right? And I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember I opened it up and it said The Boys for Young Butcher, and I was right beside my mom and I was like, oh wow, right? Because I already knew like The Boys is this massive show, and the character of Butcher as well, just such an iconic. Just really beloved character. So, I was like, wow, okay, awesome. Let's do this, right? And so I filmed this audition and I sent it out and I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. And then I don't remember how long, like how much time passed by, but then, my agent sends an email saying, hey, you were sent over to the producers. Let's see what happens. I was like, awesome, cool. And then a couple more days passed by and they're like, awesome, now you're just sent to Amazon for approval, right? So, you're pretty much cleared, but now we have to send you to Amazon to get the final approval, right?
Yeah.
And I was starting to get really excited, right? Because I was like, oh, I'm so close, right? So close to this role. And then, a couple of days passed by and then I'm starting to wonder like, oh, like what happened, right? What happened with this role? I came back from filming one day and my agent called. I got the call and I booked it. And I literally a week later, I was already doing my dialect coaching and then to go film The Boys. And I think I booked the role about 5 or 6 months prior to filming. So I got a lot of time of preparation as well. So it was really exciting.
So what is your, I can ask this question in 2 parts, but I'll start it more vague then. But what is your mindset knowing that you're part of like a flashback? Because we all know that flashbacks are being used so many different ways in TV and film. So what is that just mindset for you that you're going to be part of flashback scenes?
Yeah, well, this in The Boys, I don't want to give too many spoilers away. On my episode, but basically we use a different form of flashbacks. In this sort of flashback, basically we have this superhero called Mindstorm who sends Butcher into the past or sends him into his consciousness to almost relive those past traumatic memories of his. And so it was just really cool because I know fans have wanted to see Butcher's backstory, for so long. And so to be a part of that and to be young Butcher, it was just really exciting, just a really cool opportunity for me. And I was really excited to bring that to I think we all were. The whole team over at The Boys was really excited to show Butcher's backstory and show the fans how Butcher became the man he is in the present.
Were you, it's funny because, you're playing young Butcher and everything. You're on The Boys and Karl Urban and everything.
Exactly.
But, I don't, you didn't meet him, right? You didn't cross paths at all, right?
No, yeah, we met. Yeah.
Oh, you did, eh?
We did, yeah.
Okay, so, because, it's funny because sometimes people would be like, what was it like working with this person? You're like, we were on different days. Like, it would have been great to meet him.
I know. Yeah, no, I know. And it's interesting because, now we see, they use CGI to show that 2 characters are in the same room, but they're actually not. But yeah, I got to meet Karl. Every day that I went to go, we were on set together on all my days, and it was really awesome to be there with him, right? To be with the adult version of Butcher and to be with an actor of Karl's caliber, and he was just really great. He gave me a bunch of tips, on, maybe Butcher would say it like this, stuff like that, right? And his emotional state with his relationship with his brother Lenny, it was just, so yeah, it was just absolutely amazing to have Karl on set as well. And I think it's interesting for him too, because his character, Butcher, he's watching these traumatic memories as well. He has to react to this as it goes down. And so it was really interesting, I think, on all parties, just to see that backstory, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting because in a world of like binging, Josh, you know, the
Yeah.
boys for this last season, you know, it was week after week drops. Like you
Exactly.
had to wait and wait. What was it like waiting, and like what was it like for like you and your family and friends just kind of like waiting for your episode to finally
Yeah.
come out? Like it must have been tough, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it was super tough. I mean, I couldn't tell anybody that I was on the boys, right? It was really tight-lipped.
That show is very tight-lipped.
It was very tight-lipped. They didn't want, you know, me to tell anybody about, like, you know, that I was even on the show, right? Amazon wanted to keep it very tight-lipped, especially the Butcher flashback scenes. You know, this was something that they really wanted to surprise fans.
Yep.
And so, you know, I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't tell any of my friends. Some of my friends watched The Boys as well. So, you know, they're also watching it weekly, and I'm like,
So
oh,
you didn't tell them at all. So like they're
I
watching
didn't
the
tell them
new.
at all.
Okay,
The
so
only
you're
people who knew were, like, you know, just my parents and I, and
okay.
like, yeah,
So
that
you
was
had
it.
okay, that's hilarious. So
Yeah, I
what
couldn't tell
was-
anybody. I couldn't tell anybody. People
Okay,
were
so-
watching The Boys, and they didn't know, you know, that I was coming up.
So-
Yeah,
'Cause I
it was
didn't know.
crazy.
So your episode drops,
Exactly.
and like, do you get like a text message like
Oh
right
yeah,
after? Like
I got a
what
bunch
the
of
heck?
texts,
Yeah.
like from family members. They sent me some messages like, "Are you in The Boys?" Right? I was like, yeah, I am. I you know, because I had to keep it super tight-lipped, you know, from filming and even just waiting like weekly you know, because one of my episode is like one of the last ones, right?
Yeah.
It's right before the season finale.
That's
so,
why I was about to say it's one of the
you
last
know,
ones.
it was
yeah.
like, it was a slow build, and people in the show, you know, got such a positive reaction as well. I just couldn't wait for people to watch the episode, and I was just waiting and waiting, you know, and I was so happy when I could finally let the secret out, you know, and let people know.
Absolutely. You know, obviously, you know, acting is something you're focusing on right now, but Josh Zaharia is a storyteller. That's what you do. You know,
Yeah.
you go on The Boys. It's a huge set, huge production. Do you ever think about like, you know, like obviously you're focused on acting, but going behind the camera as well? Do you have aspirations for that too, a little bit, writing, directing? Because we wear many hats in the entertainment industry, right?
I mean, absolutely. You know, I think my whole life I've just been really interested in how movies and more than just movies, like stories are told, how they're created, you know, just all of that. So absolutely. I mean, you know, actually, like a little fun fact is, like, back in the day when I was like really young, I would make like these little short films, but they were like with my action figures, you know. So, you know, I would like play with my action figures, and I was creating stories. So my whole life I've really just been creating these stories because that's what I've always loved to do. And absolutely, in the future, I definitely want to delve into directing, writing. That's definitely some stuff that I want to delve into in the future. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say was, in your opinion, like the coolest thing about being part of The Boys for this season? Like, is there one thing? I mean, obviously, you know, the ability, obviously, to say that you're on it is cool. But is there anything like, was it just cool kind of being on set? Was it cool? Like, was the preparation cool? Like, what was the coolest thing about it?
Oh man, I mean, I've watched the show. When I booked the role, I immediately started watching the show. I turned on the first episode just to be like, all right, well, let's see what this is all about. You know, let's see the vibe of the show. And the first episode ended, and I was like, it's pretty good. Let's watch the second episode, and then I ended up binging both seasons. Right. So coming to set, I was a fan. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's tough. I might have to say, just being there and meeting Karl was spectacular. I got to see some of the costumes, you know, in person. Being there, like seeing them like building the sets. Just I can't really say one thing because it was all just awesome.
Oh, I put you on the spot. It's a hard question.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's like I can't really say it, like just one thing, because like reading the script, getting to see all the twists, like it was crazy. Yeah, like I'm not gonna say too much, but like the Soldier Boy and Homelander twist, you know, I knew about that, and it blew my mind while I was reading the script. Just the show continues to top itself every episode, and it was just spectacular to be there. The preparation, the dialect coaching, meeting Karl. There's no. I can't just say one thing.
You said like 14 things, and that's super fun.
Yeah.
Do you think the genre bending component of The Boys is like what makes it stand out in your opinion? Like it has superhero, it's funny, it's got action, like it's got so much, like there's so much, right?
Exactly. The Boys is a crazy show. It's crazy, right? I mean, there's so many crazy things that go down on The Boys, and it really, I mean, it's a commentary on the superhero genre and on things that are going on in our real world, and so I think it brings a lot of interesting commentary. So it's not only just another superhero show; it also has deep characters. Its story is really well written, and it keeps you really invested. And so I think the show really does push the envelope when it comes to creating just not only just a good superhero show, but just an incredible show overall.
Absolutely. No, super well said. Josh, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Boys, they can check that out on Prime Video. You have an Instagram account, right, where people can keep up to date with everything?
Yeah. Josh_Zaharia. Go check me out. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popturn for previous episodes. Until next time, this is Josh Zaharia, who plays Young Butcher in The Boys on Prime Video, and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.